Boom. Okay. I kind of messed that up, didn't I? Okay, well, I hope you can see me now. And is this working? Is this working? Now I am nervous that I messed this up because I had to reconnect the capture software because it wasn't detecting my camera. Just checking the stream. Hang on a sec. Let's just check this. I'm just waiting for the 30-second lag, but hopefully you can see. And I am getting good health from this, so we'll see. Good. I can see people saying they can see. Okay, yes, awesome. Hello, this is Equal Simon. Welcome to Tokyo Tonight 2. Great to see you all. Hope you enjoyed the pre-show. It is nice to have. Let me pause that video there. It is nice to have music and to be able to share the good work of all of you guys. Let me show you what I'm wearing. Boom, check that out. I actually got a bunch of these made. I'm getting them to send to the people who helped me with the pre-beta, which I was hoping I'd be announcing open beta tonight. I'll tell you a bit about that in a second. I wonder if I can get a better shot of the shirt. Always dangerous when I decide to start trying new things in the middle of the stream. But let's do this because I like to live dangerously. I believe that's video capture device number 6. So if I were to add a new thing and put that here, you can still hear me. And if I add a source from a video capture device, and I would just make that an existing and make that video capture device 6, which it isn't, so I would make it video capture device number. I'm going to stop this in a minute. I shouldn't do this. Boom. Oh, that's the wrong one. Nope. Yeah. Let's try video capture. And you know what? I think I'm just going to go back to the normal thing. Boom, because that's dangerous. And now, phew. Okay, never mind. Well, in any case, the shirt is very cool. I got 2 runs made of the shirt. I wanted to test and try to find a good printer, so I tried 2. This place is from Broken Arrow shirts in the US. They allow you to put like effects and stuff into it, which I thought was kind of cool. Came out okay, not exactly the way I thought. It's actually pretty cool. This has sort of got a bit of a degraded sort of effect. The other one I got, which I'll share probably next week, is from MB Prints Japan. Much simpler. You couldn't do anything with the design, other than just give it to them. But it came out really nice on the shirts. So yes, that basically is how they came out. I ended up getting like 30 of them, and I thought I'd have some spares for the Hanami. I will have some spares, but they'll be mostly small sizes. It turns out when I counted up, I had quite a lot of people helping. I led a lot of people into the pre-beta. To let you know how that went and where we are at with that at the moment, stand up and show us the t-shirt, says Andrea. Let's adjust the camera a little bit. The problem is that the camera's a little bit zoomed. So if I were to go back like this, yeah, you get the idea anyway. Pretty cool. Mr. Cordy Chip, I will neither confirm nor deny. So yeah, what happened was, anyway, we did the pre, it looks good. I got the box behind me. We've also got, you know, the shirts, the hat's fallen down a bit. We've got a Domokun with the show theme hat. So yeah, the what happened with it was we had the site up in kind of a rough mode, and I didn't want to go into an open beta where I want all of you guys, like have 100, 200 users in there, and have everybody, 100 people reporting the same bugs. I wanted to get the big bugs out of it, so I got I meant for 10, but it ended up being about 20 people in on the pre-beta, and Kim. That's believe me, no one ever says that to me. So yeah, we went through with about 20 users, and we got like 58 improvement requests, bugs, tweaks, all of that sort of stuff. And yeah, it was of those I decided to try to implement 36 of them, and on Thursday I tested them, and of that 33 were done. They were crushed. It's awesome. It looks really, really good. The problem is that the 3 that are left, 2 of them I consider to be big enough that if I were to release the site to everyone right now, I mean, anyone can go in, but it's being worked on, so I really prefer that you didn't, just because you're just going to see it broken, or not the way that I want it. I want to launch it to you guys. Yeah, it'll be things where I'll have 100 people telling me the same bug 200 times. So yeah, I want to be able to do this right. So give me a couple more days. We'll just get the last 2 really big ones out, and it'll be open for everyone really soon. We've got the Hanami on Saturday. I've got shirts, I've got stickers and stuff like that. Stickers I can give away anytime. I am actually, just today, I'm preparing to send shirts to all the people who helped with the pre-beta, because you guys really, really helped me with that. Yeah, that's good advice, Sergeant Bilko. Yeah, it's been really, really cool, the site. I was really hoping that tonight would be like I'd tell everybody go onto the site right now. I'm not going to say that yet, because there's a couple of things. Mainly the just the video titles are not displaying quite correctly, and also if you're like a Mac user, like with like no scroll bar and one button, there's an issue with the scroll bar on one of the displays. But that's really it. I mean, they're pretty minor. The site is really, really working really, really well. So yeah, Phoenix 787. The good news about yes, definitely you can barely even use a cell phone during Hanami in Yoyogi Park because there's too many people. However, next Saturday it's not going to be that crowded. It'll be crowded, but you'll be able to use your cell phone. You may have a shot at being able to live stream, but it'll be touch and go. You certainly couldn't do it today or last week, which was sort of the peak times, but I think it'll be okay. Yeah, it's been, how are you guys liking the pre-show? I quite like that. I mean, I realize it triggers a notification that the show has started an hour early, but I do quite like the everybody rolling in and saying hello and getting to chat. I like being able to just type chat with everybody. Plus it's nice to showcase the music, which is being made by the commenters here in the video. Yeah, I think that is awesome. What else? We've got, everyone knows about in Tokyo, who's going to be coming to Tokyo. Everyone knows about the Hanami, right? Everyone signed up. I'm really looking forward to seeing you guys there. I'm going to be there from like midday. We'll see. I may have to leave by about like 4 p.m. I might not be able to stay for the night thing. Maybe go back late at night. I know Victor's coming along. I do want to catch up with him, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, it's going to be pretty cool. I'm very looking forward to seeing all of you guys there. I will have a couple of small and medium-sized shirts to give away, and they are really, really cool. So we'll have those and some stickers and stuff like that. But the main thing is I just want to see you guys and just hang out and say hello. I mean, that's what it's really, really cool for. Barringer, there will be a few blossoms, but the main thing, it's definitely, today was full-on Sakura Fubuki. There was like, you know, the petals falling everywhere, and that's just what happens. But yeah, it'll be a really good party, and thanks again to Zach for organizing it, you know, being the guy who controls the Facebook page, and for grabbing the spot and all of that good stuff. Andrea Mulboy, I'm thinking about that, but the main thing is I want people to sign up, you know, for the pro tier on the site. So I'm kind of thinking I might make like I might print or do a run of the shirts. One idea I have is that for people who sign up, like for the extra features, which I've got to figure out what I'm going to do with that, I might make it a little incentive that they'll get a shirt, you know, like the first 50 sign-ups or something like that. That'd be really cool. I really do want to reward the people who really support the site, but at the same time I need to get the site, you know, up and rolling, not just with lots of people using it and loving it, which so far the signs are really good. I mean, pretty much everybody who used it in beta told me they love it as much as I do, which is cool. The next thing is to figure out how to get people to appreciate the functionality. I mean, it's adding functionality that isn't in YouTube. That's the idea. That's what's so cool about it. But you know, the thing is, YouTube's free, so you got to be giving something that has some value to people. And I'm thinking, well, I'd really appreciate if like maybe 1 in 20 people would think well enough of the site to like do a cup of coffee worth, you know, black, small, you know, a cheap small cup of coffee once a month would be really nice. And I'd probably throw in a shirt or something like that. But we'll figure it out. You know, it's actually the thing about shirts, which I'm learning right now, is that there is a labor thing that, you know, you have to actually write everything down, figure out the addresses, you know, take it up to the post office, digital, you know, stuff. On the website it's actually quite easy, but yeah. Which reminds me, get back to the topics. That's a picture I took the other day, which is actually very, very nice. Just by the Meguro River, that's actually a love hotel in the background. That's kind of a really old one. So people are making jokes. What have you got? Bradley Ford. Bradley Ford, I have a message in your Twitter direct message thing, because you get one of these. Thank you for your help, sir. But yes, the sizes are are running out. Speaking of which, indeed, the Tiangong 1 re-entry, which I think now is going to happen like midday tomorrow Japan time. Anime Mobile, yes, indeed. I posted a few on Instagram, but that is one of the ones I posted on Instagram, and it came out really, really well. Hey, Olivia, good to see you. Better late than never. Hey, we're just warming up. I just got in here. As usual, I'm having the very long intro, hyping up about the Hanami, and saying that with My-chan TV, we are like this close. I thought we'd be launching today, but we just have two remaining things. I'm gonna update the My-chan TV blog, just to run through the 36 improvements that will be in. There are 33 in right now, that will be in for the open beta, and I just want to confirm with you guys and set it live. So let's get into the comments, just see who is here. I do love doing the pre-show chat, and thanks for everybody who rolled in early and said hello. I like being able to type chat, and plus it's really cool. I just love showing the music of the Tokyo Digital crew, who are really all people from the comment section of these videos. So it's really cool that we can sort of show that off. How far back can we go back? There are earlier comments than these. That's interesting. Okay, it won't let me go all the way back, but that's fine. Okay, so Shubhas from Panama, it's good to have you in here. We've got Phoenix 787. By the way, if you're watching right now, I want to say hello to you. So just say hello, even just like a dot or something, because I'm just going to scroll through and say hello to everyone who appears to be watching. We've got Kit Crawford, good to see you. We've got Shubhas, Robert XXX001, good to see you indeed. General Public. Oh yeah, after all that, I never got to do the boom thing. See, I do that, but it doesn't show the video, does it? I've got to do this. Yes, got to put that there. Let's do that again. Boom. Yeah, I'm gonna get that better. Anyway, that'll be a feature on the show. I want to put that as small upgrades always, but of course technical sacrifices, hence technical issues. But this is like everything, right? It's all about getting everything a little bit better at a time. General public, very excited to have the general public here watching for the first time ever in Japan, and we're really excited to find out that the general public supports this show and is watching. I mean, really gratifying. Good to have you here, general public. Kit Crawford, Travis Moore, good to see you. More adventures by the sounds of it as well. Mr. Cordy Chep, good to have you in here as always. We got Tai Nakamura. Who else we got? We got, by the way, whose awesome tunes were playing just before the show. Andrea Morboy, good to see you. We got Shubus. We got, already said that. Ben Duncan made it in. Good to hope you're watching, Ben. Who else we got? We got Sergeant Bilko. Good to have you, as always. Good to see Quint Rangit, who was liking the music that I like to see. Nippon Culture Quest, awesome channel. Please go and follow her. She makes awesome videos. That is cool. Who else we got in here? We got Lysander 45. Be careful about about the piped water in China. Hope you are good. Great to have people watching in China. I must admit, if you're watching this on YouTube, I know that China clamped down on VPNs this week, so I hope you can continue watching. I'm very glad that you can, so that is awesome. Butter topics this week, yeah, that came up as well. We'll see. There was a thing about what would happen if a self-driving car ran someone over, or if scamsters jumped onto self-driving cars and claimed that they were injured. And there is an answer on this show, because I have the answers to these questions. What else do we have? Who else do we have in here? General public, Quint. Sometimes I scroll too fast and I miss people, but let's go through. There's Phoenix. There's general public. There's Mr. Cordy Chep. We got Andrea Morboy back, Shibus, Quint, Lysander. Just going by the icons. I can see Bradley Ford there is making an appearance. Good to have you on the show, sir. And again, thank you for all the support with the pre-testing of My-chan TV. Indeed, if all else fails, reboot. I didn't have to do a full reboot, but that was it. Boom, 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 boom. Say hello so I can get you in here. We got Barringer. Good to see you, Barringer. Ooh. Oh yeah, that reminds me. I should turn off notifications, which I will do in a bit. Who else is in here? Scrolling really fast. Trevor Tucker. Good to see you, Trevor Tucker. How does the Hanami usually work? Good question. Yes, indeed, you do just show up. It is a very big park, so make sure you're looking at the information page on Facebook, which I think probably Zach will update when the spot is picked to actually give you the exact GPS location of where to go in the park. But that's it. You show up. The deal is that you should bring your own drinks, and you should bring a bit extra for other people to share around. But yeah, you just bring your own drinks, you sit down, you make friends, and when you're ready, you go home. By the way, Zach, I know, is worried about the weather forecast for next week. There is some rain towards the end of the week, but seriously, it's still 7 days out. You never know. We've had glorious weather lately, and don't stress about the weather forecast yet. Like the Hanami itself, you never know until it's like right on the day. Olivia D, excellent to have you along here. And yeah, Ben Duncan, and talk to the weebs. That's right, New Zealand butter is good. Thank you for confirming that fact. Bold Berlitz boy, hello. Good to have you in here. And yeah, Trevor Tucker. And you know what? Traditionally, Hanami weather isn't good. This is all part of the thing. It's like climbing Mount Fuji. It's something everyone sort of has to do, but it kind of sucks actually, and that's why people, but you do it. You're just supposed to do it. So yes, good to have all of you in here, and let's get into the topics for tonight. First of all, so in Japan, when people are like starting the Japanese year, school year, fiscal year, it goes with the seasons. It starts in spring. Traditionally, university school work starts under the falling petals of the cherry blossoms on the 1st of April, which is today. April Fool's Day. I should have had an April Fool's ready, but I don't. And also Easter, I guess. Which, when you think about it, I myself still associate Easter more with Easter eggs and chocolate Easter bunnies than I do with the Bible story associated with it. But the Bible story itself, of course, the timing of the birth of Christ. Oh no, that's not the birth, it's the death, isn't it? Well, that doesn't work. Well, renewal. I guess that's the idea. But it's the spring, it's the renewal fertility festival. The pagan festival that it overtook, and in Japan it's just like that, and it's basically spring life starts this time of year, April. So yeah, everything sort of kicks off, but it also means Japanese companies that rigidly follow budget cycles and moving cycles that follow the fiscal year. It means that everybody says the last week of March, move to get ready. Basically, the last half of March is when you have a vacation time to go and do all your moving to your next work assignment or your company or whatever. And with the shortage of workers in most industries in Japan, but certainly in the house moving industry, it turns out that even local governments are not able to find house movers to move when they're relocating offices in March. Everyone stupidly cramming in for August for April 1st. So yeah, there's been a problem in Ibaraki that apparently a city council or some government office there wanted to move. I wonder if I can pull the link out of this, which I don't think I can for some reason. There it is. So yeah, just within the Ibaraki prefecture government building, they were moving floors, but apparently every moving company turned them down. They said, "Why are you asking us for this now? We've been booked up for months." So all these city employees are coming in and doing the moving themselves, which actually they should do. Mr. Quiddy Chip, a drunk girl tried to get you to buy a cheesecake. Well, congratulations, that's well done. Cooper's World, good to see you, Cooper's World. Good to have you on the show, and welcome to the live stream and to the comments. So yes, moral of the story is that if you have moving arrangements to do in Japan, try not to do them. Try to figure out some way to not have to do them in the end of March, because everyone is, and there aren't enough house movies at the moment. There is one thing, by the way, the reason that the camera is a little bit fuzzy is because the camera is actually focusing behind me. I've got the camera actually aimed off on the side, and I should fix this. Should I fix this? I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Hiko, don't fix it. But you know what? I have to fix it. So let me fix this. That's the wrong thing. I've got to click Alt. I've got to go out. And you know what? The upside of this is that I actually, I know you don't want to see my curtains, but let me fix this live. Just because it will be much sharper and better and in better focus if I point the camera at me. Plus, you know what? I could even show off the shirt better. I'm going to do that. Oh, I know. I always invite technical problems. If this freezes, you can all say, I told you so, but I'm going to fix this. You know what else? I'm going to do this so that you can check out the awesome shirt I'm wearing. That is better. That is a lot better. And let's just move that one up. There we go. There, isn't that better? I think that's better. Plus I'm in focus now. It was really annoying. I couldn't stand. The camera was like pointed out, like over that way, and I was out of focus. So, okay, we're still here, and that still works. And don't move in the second half of March in Japan because there are no house movers available. Boom. Okay. I said better, Sergeant Booker, but don't worry about that. This was an Instagram I took the other day. It's actually near my, well, you know, it's I am frequently around this area during the week, and not because that's a love hotel. That's it. So this is a funny thing. Apart from the fact this is a gorgeous view, Meguro River is really one of the best places to look at cherry blossoms in Tokyo. And yeah, you can see. The whole river just has all of these beautiful cherry blossoms all along it, and when they start folding, the river just becomes pink with all the cherry blossoms. It's really, really cool. And I was just walking past during a sunset, and I thought that's a nice shot. So I took that shot, and it's got the castle, which also looks quite magical. Only problem, well, it's not even a problem. It's a love hotel. One of the oldest ones in Tokyo, apparently. I've got a friend actually who was telling me once that his daughter saw it and said, "Daddy, one day I want to live in that castle." And he awkwardly had to tell her that when she was old enough, one day he would have that conversation with her. That said, it is a very nice photo. It came out really nice, so I took it. Love my iPhone, and yeah, it's a lovely time of year to take photos. So I haven't been Instagramming much lately, but I'd say that justified it. If you have kids, I mean, I have a son, and these things are actually, if you want to like go, if you like adventure playgrounds, like a Ninja Warrior type stuff. Get a kid. Seriously, just find one and take them along so that you can get into these places because they're really cool. Tokyo has really, really good ones. They've got maps for them, but they've got basically all of these sort of adventure parks. And you know, it's always a little bit awkward if you're an adult on them on your own, but if you're with a kid, it makes complete sense. You can like climb castle walls and stuff. They're like obstacle courses, cool like slides and stuff there right beside the sky tree. What else have we got here? Oh, this is cool. I didn't know about this. In Singapore, they had one of these when I was a kid. It's like a traffic park where you can pretend to be cars, like on a bicycle. So I really want to go to that because I remember doing that when I was a kid in 1982. And yeah, water park. I mean, seriously, cool stuff, actually. I'm going to go check these out, especially. I did not advocate kidnapping. No, I just said, that lady with the cheesecake, I'm just saying, go, you know, follow the cheesecake, and who knows, you could be going to one of these adventure parks, and they're really, really fun. So you should go down that path. So anyway, there are lots of really cool things like this, and I'm going to go actually enjoy those. So yeah, this is from Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman tweeted this. He actually said he's hoping that his two friends and leaders, hoping for this after his two friends and leaders meet next month. So if we're going on the potential, again, the North Korea-American summit between Trump and Kim Jong-un, and if we are going by the Dennis Rodman standards of likely success, well, I don't know. I'm thinking, how much does a shelter cost? And when do I start digging one? Because I mean, yeah, we're pretty much doomed if this is it. So yeah. You can pretend if you, Japan has everything. Mr. Gordy Chip, no you won't, and it'll get you plenty of jail time in Japan. No, this is really not good. So this is interesting, and this is interesting partly because this is interesting. Seoul just concluded a free trade agreement with America, and if that sounds like deja vu, it is because so South Korea also concluded a free trade agreement with America last year. America decided that they wanted to take another bite of the apple. In fact, I think South Korea rushed with the FTA that they had with America to get it just before Trump was elected, but Trump came in and basically said, no, we can't sell American cars in South Korea, but you can sell South Korean cars in America. They're the biggest source of the deficit, so we want you to renegotiate this. And South Korea is like, haha, why would we do that? And they called, but with the North Korean summit and everything coming up, they called them in for negotiations. America just demanded one-way unilateral concessions from Korea. They laughed at them, and then America basically announced that they were putting these tariffs on steel, and they threatened to add South Korea to that unless they capitulated. And the story of this is that after this very long negotiation, they said, oh, and that made it a win-win, and so we gave in, and now we have a free trade agreement, which they already had. They just have a worse one now. Essentially the negotiation tactics of the US, which you may applaud. I mean, they were pursuing US national interest. They were, first of all, offering to do something very unpleasant to South Korea, and they said, why would we agree to have something very unpleasant done to us? And then America demonstrating, well, we could do something even less pleasant than that unpleasant thing, and we're about to do it, so take a choice. Do you want to do the unpleasant thing or the even more unpleasant thing? And they said, well, that's a win-win. We'll just do the unpleasant thing then, and we can both walk away winners. And that's what they did. And based on that, having worked with South Korea, cha-ching, America now wants to open negotiations with Japan. And this is the reason why Japan wasn't included on the list of trusted and important security allies of America that were exempt from the new steel tariffs, because Trump wants to get revenge on Japan for making Hondas. Basically, he wants to restage the whole 1980s trade war thing all over again with Japan for, and when they talk about removing trade barriers, they're specifically with cars. It's kind of funny. They talk about non-tariff barriers. So Japan doesn't put tariffs on foreign cars, or hardly. But there are things that make it difficult to own a foreign car in Japan. It's not the bowling ball test. They do not drop a bowling ball on cars from 30 feet or whatever Trump said they were. What they do, however, is that, for example, if you want to have a car that fits into a car parking building in Japan, they've got really specific requirements for the wheelbase size of the car, for the size and the specifications of the car. When European car makers found this, all the German car makers made cars, or basically offered cars that were small enough, or that would fit the Japanese specifications, so they would fit on the highway toll booths, so they'd fit into Japanese car parks or whatever. However, most American car manufacturers do not manufacture cars to meet the chassis size requirements for Japanese car parking buildings. America apparently wants these non-trade barriers removed, and I'm not exactly sure what you can really do about the size of the car parks. I mean, American car makers are welcome to do what the Germans did and the European car makers did, and just make cars that can sell in the Japan market. But the problem is that, it's really hard for Japan to remove the non-trade tariff barrier that, the cars are crap and people don't want to buy them. And, there are things that are perhaps unfair for distributing in Japan. It's really hard to set up a sales and distribution network and a support network. There are local standards just in terms of road size, car park size, that mean that you struggle with American cars a lot of the time. I have friends who own American cars, by the way, but they own them as status symbols, and they have special car parking and so on for them. It's a hassle to own one. America should just Kim, by the way, I don't think I mentioned you in the intros in the beginning, but very good to have you in here. As well as Wildfire777, good to see you, and also good to see, I think I saw another name in there, Slake Manson, good to have you along. Make Dennis Rodman sane again, why not? Was he ever sane? No, I'm not sure. I want to know what a sane Dennis Rodman looks like. I mean, that would be pretty boring. You can only get Chevys in Chiba. Well, I know people who own Chevys in Chiba, but they're all just imported used cars. They're pretty cool, but the point is that America's kind of like not making any sense about this, and they're looking kind of stupid about it, but they're beating up on Japan. And I mean, Japan does provide the entire US security presence in the North, West Pacific. So, for example, I mean, if those bases in Okinawa, that the LDP and that Shinzo is basically screwing Okinawa over in order to keep America happy, to keep those things there. If those were ever pulled, America's ability to leverage its security, to project power in this part of the world, it could do pretty well from Guam or even from Hawaii. It's getting longer and longer range. But, given what China's doing in the South China Sea, if Japan were ever to not cooperate with that, not that they have any interest in doing that because they outsource their security to America. America is pretty strongly trying to do to Japan now what it did with South Korea, and I'm pretty sure you're looking at South Korea, and it's not a model that anyone wants to follow, but it shows that America is pretty much happy now to extort and blackmail friends for money, which, it's a tough thing. It kind of sucks, but we'll see how Japan goes with that. Latest population estimates for 2045 have come out, and population everywhere in Japan except Tokyo is going to decline. Tokyo is going to continue to draw in basically refugee young people from the rest of Japan. It's going to be Sergeant Bilko, they BMW, Audi, Porsche, in fact, the car makers that have the capacity and the interest don't have much trouble selling cars. You wouldn't say they don't have trouble. It's not easy to sell cars in Japan, but certainly if you focus on selling here, you can do it. But anyway, coming back to the population thing. So yes, Japan is steadily population declining. The consequences of that are really, really interesting to see. We had the house moving problem earlier. We have the idea that automation here might be a benefit. But certainly there are some, I think Akita Prefecture in particular by 2045 is going to be more than 50% above 75 years old. I mean, it's going to be pretty terrible to deal with. As a young person, and that's why Tokyo is going to continue increasing. Tokyo is going to continue to be an awesome place, but the rest of Japan is going to really empty out. What else we got? Oh yeah, so Shubis was asking, what happens with the self-driving car or robot car if people throw themselves in front of it, to try to collect the insurance money? Good question. So in Japan, apparently they've made a call on this, which is that insurance companies are going to hold, or basically the law will hold the driver of the self-driving car, not the car maker, responsible, which I think makes sense. It means you're going to need to have insurance, and if obviously someone jumps on your bonnet, you're going to want to have insurance so that the insurance company can deal with it. You're also going to have a ton of cameras, so it's going to be really hard to fake that. But the idea is that they're not going to put it on the car manufacturers, and although that sounds like it sucks, it kind of makes sense, and I'll explain why. If you put all the liability on the manufacturers, frankly, they're not going to want to promote self-driving cars. Yet we are finding, even with the self-driving car technology now, I mean, they had that fatal Tesla crash the other day. The outcomes are better with more automated cars. You're going to have less car crashes and less people dying in car crashes. Even if you have fatal car crashes or accidents, still they're going to be fewer, which means from a government policy perspective, you do want to promote. I've just realized I can hear music still. I'm going to turn that off. You do want to promote self-driving cars, and if you are putting all the liability for that on the car manufacturers, they're not going to economically be able to, it's going to make the cars more expensive. Whereas if you make each individual car owner bear the risk of that, knowing that they're probably going to get cheaper insurance premiums if they have self-driving cars and if they drive themselves, because they are going to be less likely to have an accident. That's probably going to promote the adoption of self-driving cars. I think it makes sense, but it is going to make it important to get insurance. So there we go. Hey Lara, good to see you. Check out the shirt. We have more shirts there, which are being prepared for Hanami and whatnot. But yeah, I know I think it's still under discussion everywhere, but Japan's decided it's going to be on the individuals. Politically, it's kind of tricky. Some people would say, oh, don't make the little guy pay for it, but it does make sense if you want to promote self-driving cars not to put it on the car companies. So I kind of get it, and I think this is actually the way it'll probably work. So yeah. So, what else have we got in here? More foreign caregivers. So they, back to this, Japan obviously now has, like, apparently the majority of elderly over 65 people now, most are over 75, i.e. people are living longer and longer and longer and longer. And a lot of them require care, and there's a huge shortage, again, another shortage of caregivers for elderly in Japan. I mean, apart from the fact that there are fewer people taking, jobs in the first place, generally caring for elderly people is underpaid, really hard work, and requires special training in Japan. So they started trying to train Indonesian nurses and Filipino nurses and Filipino nurses to become certified to be nurses in Japan, which requires meeting the same standards as Japanese nurses, both for language and technical proficiency. And there was like a 2% pass rate when they tried this in Indonesia. However, the government has set up language schools and training schools all over Indonesia and Philippines, and I think they're going to be expanding to other Southeast Asian countries. And the good news is that although they've been trying this now for like 5 years and almost no one's been passing it, the number has increased. Oh, Vietnam, wow. So Vietnam now. Let's take a look at this actually. This is super interesting. By the way, hat tip to Peter Durfee, who runs Nippon.com, and he does a very, very good job. So here we go. Apparently 213 caregivers passed the 2017 exam, more than double the previous year's 104, and Vietnamese accounted for 89 of the in the first year. It was all Indonesians. It's good news. It still is, these are very small numbers, and when you think of the numbers that are needed, it's really a drop in the pond, but it's a good thing. I mean, again, hopefully these workers will be treated well enough and paid well enough that this program will expand. People will want to do it because it's a lot. It's very challenging to get into. But yeah, medical terms, well, for anybody, I think this would be really difficult. The Indonesians struggled, the Filipinos struggled. Vietnamese, by the way, we're coming to this a little bit later, apart from the fact that the number of established Japanese residents, not visitors, but residents, is exploding, the foreign residents in Japan, now up to 2.5 million. It used to be like 1 million, now it's 2.5 million. Now Vietnamese have jumped. I think they're now like the third biggest category. They've skipped like the Brazilians and the Iranians, the other groups that were ahead of them now. So Vietnam really making its presence felt in Japan in recent years. Phoenix 787, you doubt they'll be paid well. Well, but if they're not paid well, they're not going to come. Japan has a terrible track record with the apprenticeship training scheme, obviously, as we've talked about frequently on this show, that they have used that for abusively low wages for farm labourers and whatnot. But with nursing care, well, the real problem is that elderly people often, don't have the money to pay for it, and governments don't invest in it. Governments don't want to spend more on social welfare, but the work requires, skill, and it's really tough work, and it really does require a better pay to attract people. So, at the end of the day, the Japanese government and the taxpayers just going to have to decide it's got to pay more money to get these workers in. And that's probably, I think, what has to happen. Unfortunately, that means that I'm going to lose my right to a pension, and my son's going to be paying for it, which sucks, but it's the only way to really deal with this. Going back into the subjects, so yes, right now this is the shot I got from America from Broken Arrow, and that is the one from MB Prints. So this is American sizes. This is nice and baggy, it's kind of cool. This one is the one I got from the Japanese printer, obviously a lot simpler, but also the shirt is really, really nice, United Arrows. So I've got, most of these are going to be going to the beta supporters, but I think I like these so much I will make another run, and I'll make them available, and I'll figure out that in conjunction with the open launch of the open beta, which will be in a few days. Like I say, just 2 bugs to go. And if you follow MyChan TV on Facebook and Twitter, you'll get the updates, and I'll also put up a blog soon. But with thanks again to all the beta testers who are getting these shirts, because you have found like 68 features that, and 36 which we've implemented, which means that I think it's going to be a really, really solid open beta, and I can't wait to show it to you guys. But it's just going to take 2 more, so it'll be ready before the Hanami. I'm really pushing hard for this, but yeah. Scary that hearing about Mum as a nurse, 50 years, recently retired. So many stories. I can imagine. It's really, it's tough work, but that needs to be properly valued, and they need to get properly paid. Especially Japan has serious needs. The shirts are awesome, and I'll be bringing these along. So there'll be some smaller S and M sizes, but the XLs and Ls are pretty much all going out to the beta testers. I'll do another run, and I'll figure out what to do. If people really like the shirts and they're interested, I'll figure out probably something. I think if people are going to sign up for Pro, which won't be obviously after beta when we launch, we'll figure out what that is. But if we do that, I think the shirts will be a nice perk for people who do that. This is kind of cool, the future of cars, and I haven't owned a car since I came to Japan, but I do like this idea. I think really where it's going to go, and it makes more and more sense with self-driving cars, that you wouldn't own a self-driving car, really. I think it's going to make more sense that you will just call up Volvo, or you go to your Volvo app and you'll say, I need a car that can fit a surfboard and 4 people, and for the weekend, and the car will just drive itself to my house at the time that I want it to come here, and I'll put all my stuff in. I won't need a car park. And it will just drive me to the beach, and I'll pay for the time that I'm using it, like a rental car. I think that'll make the most sense, but certainly the subscription model for car ownership. And the nice thing about the subscription model, I'm guessing, is that you'll be able to just pay a subscription and have a certain class of car and get the benefit of the new models. I'm hoping that that's the case. It is really interesting, and it's cool that you can now sign up to get these cars just with an app. In fact, apparently with the Volvo, they'll actually they'll drive it over for you, but obviously we're very close to these cars driving themselves. And it does raise the thing, in a place like Tokyo, where car parks will cost, in central Tokyo, $600, $700, $800 a month just for the car park. It'll cost as much as renting a small apartment. It will really, really make a lot of sense when we get away from like car ownership altogether. But this is kind of cool. I can really see that this is Sergeant Bilko Behave. This is in Sweden, where we don't know what those things mean here. Well, it is Japan, so I can't really say that they don't. Anyway, back on subject. So yeah, I think this is kind of cool anyway. And as I've been talking about self-driving cars for a while. They've been a big subject lately, but I think I've been talking about them since before they were a big subject. And I think it's going to be super, super cool. It's a shirt that is strong enough to restrain people. That is. Please behave. I had to think about that one. Okay, if you live in Tokyo and you are living in certain places, you should know that if there is a tidal surge of a couple of meters on a king tide, there's a good map here of how screwed you will be. Let's have a look at it. Basically, where will be flooded and by how much. This is Tokyo, or the inner 23 wards of Tokyo. And as you can see, Koto Ward, Edogawa Ward are pretty much screwed everywhere along the Arakawa River. And actually, even going in through Bunkyoku, Kitaku, you can see that follow the rivers that are really low-lying. There is this risk of, if you get a high surge, apparently there's recently a simulation of areas that will get flooded. I've mostly lived in those red areas. The bright red areas are areas at risk of being up to 10 meters underwater, 2 stories. So yeah, I used to live on the right-hand side of that riverbank there, which would be 3 to 5 meters. Unfortunately, I lived on the 8th floor there. But yeah, you can sort of see Edogawa. So yeah, these flood maps. I mean, Japan has awesome disaster maps: fire risk, earthquake risk, flood risk. There are some neighborhoods close to mine which have all of them overlap, and it's really, really cool. Kimi Kimkim, Tokyo Tokyo is built on rivers. It used to have crazy floods. Now it has those famous underground tunnels for stopping floods. But it used to be, even when I first came to Japan in the late 90s, I mean, Nakano routinely suffered from floods. Doesn't have them so many now. Sumidoku, I was getting stuck for Sumidoku. Thank you for that, Kohoshino. And welcome to the show, by the way. I don't think I missed you coming in there before. But yes, Tokyo frequently used to burn down like cities do when they had lots of wood structures. It's been frequently flattened by earthquakes, and it frequently used to flood. And they've really done amazing things with stopping the flooding, but what you cannot stop still is a tidal surge. So it is a floodplain, so what can you do? But that is kind of interesting. Sumidaku, there we go, there it is. Katsushikaku would be 98% underwater, and Sumidaku would be 99% underwater. In the event of a king tide, basically on kind of a super tide risk. So a tidal surge, kind of scary, but you know, that is the place that we live. But this stuff always in Tokyo. It's like living in a Godzilla movie in Tokyo. You know, you literally can be just wiped out anytime. Yeah, this is same story as before about the population decline. The Amazon Echo. So I've got my Echo in the background. I must admit I'm not using it all that much lately, but it's kind of cool. They are now selling these on general sale in Tokyo in Japanese. I think before it was like on an invite or a request basis or something, and now it's freely available. They've had the Google one available for a while. I've got that as well. But yeah, it's cool to see these catching up to their English. It's cool to be able to use them as well. So I know I was playing around with the American one for a while. I think if these are out, I might try getting the Japanese one, and I might try doing the same thing, just playing some games with them. You'll never buy an Echo. Well, I don't know. I think they're kind of cool, but that's just me. That is the same river as before, a different location, but still with the nighttime cherry blossoms. That's quite nice. That is the same river again, different location again during the day. Again, quite nice. And you can see all the petals there in the river. Just the pink river from all of the cherry blossoms. That was this week. So yeah, that was pretty cool. How are we doing for time? We're doing just about perfect. We've got 10 minutes left. Visa applications. Oh yeah. So this is interesting. I first read this and I thought, man, China is just going crazy, spying on its citizens and grabbing all of their social media data and just kind of scary stuff. And then I thought, oh, this is America. Okay, America is soon going to require 5 years, and it's not just social media info. They're going to require 5 years of access to your email as well and your passwords. So I get it. You know, if you anyone who sarcastically tweeted Ayatollah within 5 years is maybe going to be in trouble from this. I mean, I don't know, but I mean, yeah, this is very, very disappointing. America, these aren't Americans, so of course they're not an ACLU issue. They're not citizens' rights. These are immigrants, so they don't have the same standards of rights. But at the same time, just the fact that you are in a country that has the ability to analyze and the interest in analyzing people's social media going back 5 years, and of course, you know, if you have like a jihadi Twitter account, chances are you won't declare it going into America. But if they find out after you're in there you had one and you didn't declare it, that in itself can be reason without needing to prove anything else, probably based on a false application, a false declaration, that they'll be able to then kick you out. So it does kind of make sense from that perspective. Either, I mean, it'd be a pretty brave person to probably share their, their radical accounts with immigration, but it then makes them vulnerable to being kicked out if those things are ever found out. In the course of another investigation, it makes it easier, I guess, for police to do that. By the way, Robert Ryan, good to see you. Who knows? Tokyo might one day be a city of canals, like the like on Ghost in the Shell animes. Tokyo is a city of canals. All of the roads, the ring roads around Tokyo, the C1, the Yamanote line, are all built on top of canals that were filled in. Tokyo was originally built around, I mean, all the structure of Tokyo is based on the canals. It was completely, the canals were the highways of Tokyo. The C1 highway in Tokyo is built over a canal. Some of it still is still a canal, and some of it's been filled in. The Chuo line, the Yamanote line, all the train lines, that infrastructure is where they built rail over what before were canal-based transport networks. So Tokyo is exactly that, Robert Ryan. I think that's really cool. People don't realize that either, which I think is always pretty cool. So yeah, I'm guessing that yeah, they're basically maybe they're hoping it will discourage people. I'm just thinking it's just going to discourage people out of embarrassment. But hey, if U.S. immigration wants to read the last 5 years of my tweets, which I think I'm up to like 78,000 tweets, please be my guest. I mean, hey, subscribe to my YouTube show. I'd probably do that. I'd probably say, hey, subscribe. Here's a button. Here's my app. And this is move along. We don't even want to know. But we'll see. You can kind of make jokes about it, but it's kind of this is kind of scary stuff when you think about what it is, GoPro's making a cheaper camera. By the way, I don't think I have it in here, but Jonathan Tame has been posting videos that he's recorded while running of the Insta360 a 360 camera. That has a 4K resolution, which sounds good, but it's all the way around, so it's like 1/9 of that based on like the screen showing at any given time. However, it is much better than my Ricoh Theta. The stabilization is amazing. Looks really, really cool. The qualities, maybe, I'm trying to think, it's not really worth shelling out $400 for yet, but it's really, really, really cool. I was very, very impressed by that. Check out his videos, and Jonathan Tame is just awesome anyway. He's taken some awesome videos lately, but if you want to get a GoPro, I mean, GoPros have always been a few $100s. So $200, they've made a cheaper version. It still works with all the mounts. It still is the same old camera, so there you go. Burgers. Tokyo's lately getting good at burgers. I see people tweeting and sharing burger information. I want to go check this place out. But yeah, you do get better. I think that was from Shoot Tokyo. Yeah, that was correct. Instagram. I'm pretty sure this is Shoot Tokyo. Shoot Tokyo Bear Burger. But yeah. In fact, what was the... did not disappoint. They allowed you to build your own burger. So this burger with cheese, bacon, tomato, horseradish sauce, and a brioche roll looks nice. It does indeed. I want to go check that out. Tokyo's getting better for burgers. It's taken a long time for the gourmet burger thing to hit Tokyo, but there you go. Panasonic has announced they're making cars, or they're preparing cars which will be driverless and will not have a driving seat. They'll just be for sitting in. And they are trying to figure out how to make people not throw up. I mean, in a way, it's going to be like old-fashioned, like horse carriages. I like the idea. I mean, as I've said before, hey, Tim the Asian Inc., konnichiwa, welcome. Hey, you like this because you have one of these coming to you. Thank you for supporting the beta of, the pre-beta of MyChan TV, and thanks to your support, it's going to be really, really cool. But there are 2 fixes left before it goes to open beta, so those are coming back. So the way that they stop people throwing up all over these things is... they're going to have, apparently they're experimenting with things like VR headsets, which I think are a terrible idea, but I've got to say, I mean, when I used to go surfing, I used to go in the back of these Chevy or whatever, the Astro vans and whatever, the US cars. Surfers would like have a thing in the back where I would just sleep in the back. You could actually stretch out because they'd have like a deck for sliding the surfboards into, and they'll put a mattress on top so that you could sleep at the beach. And if I'm lucky enough to be picked up by a friend with one of these cars or a modified Hi-Ace, I just sleep all the way to the beach, and I tell you, it's fantastic. So for me, I mean, well, apart from the problems I can see people guessing about if you just put beds into these things, honestly, I think people, they're assuming, I guess during the day people will mostly want to sit down, but people sit in the back of cabs like this. But yeah, I think for people who own them, geez, snoozing and watching TV is it's gonna be like a place to just chill out when you're going around in these cars. I think it's gonna be really, really awesome. Yeah, and it does look cool, and it's interesting that Panasonic is getting into it, so it's kind of a good sign. This was interesting. There's been a lot of people talking about the old delete Facebook thing, and maybe the closest to home was Koichi from Tofugu. I'm a big fan of Tofugu. Whenever he tweets stuff, and he's still on Twitter, by the way, I almost robotically retweet it because it's always good. He is a very thoughtful, apart from providing good language learning materials for people who want to learn Japanese, he's also very, very thoughtful about how to collect and study and learn Japanese, and very successful at it himself. Plus he makes excellent videos. So yeah, I just want to support the guy. He's done a very long blog, which does remind me a little bit of a college humor skit on Facebook. I shared on Facebook about people leaving Facebook and how they, if leaving Facebook was like leaving a party, and how people leave a little bit grandiosely when they can just leave. But a very long post kind of explaining why they're leaving Facebook, which is basically that they're just a little bit spooked and they can't in good conscience continue to be part of a site that does what it does. It's kind of creepy, and the Cambridge Analytica stuff is kind of spooky, and honestly I don't like reading the home feed a lot. Lately I've enjoyed deleting stuff or blocking content. Anyone who posts anything, I don't block the people, but you can block the content. So if people post something from outragedliberals.com, they put up stuff of like racist people and stuff, and saying liberals be outraged on this, fight this, and I see that, I'm just like, it pisses me off. But lately I've just been like, block that, don't want to see that anymore on my feed. So now I'm pretty much just down to kittens and music, It's fun. I mean, I still get addicted to my Facebook feed. It's still psychologically abusing me, but I'm not doing it. It's not. I'm trying to reduce the rage-inducing content, and there's quite a lot of that because I think we're quite hot-wired to that sort of thing. So yeah, it's making me kind of block political links and stuff like that. Even links I agree with, because frankly I am worried about how the site is logarithmically and intentionally trying to psychologically abuse us. But that said, the connectivity is awesome. I get to reach out to all of you guys, have some awesome chat. So long as you're in control of it, which you're not always in control of it, but so long as you're in control of it, Facebook is still okay with me. So I'm still there, but Koichi is not. See you, Koichi. But that said, his site still deserves support. He's still on Twitter. I do like Twitter actually more than Facebook. And there it is. My friend kept liking pictures of high school girls. Yeah, you do get awkward things like that as well. Sometimes people don't realize what they are sharing. But yes, I should have got this for the show tonight. Sandra is going to be releasing a special Japanese versions of Pepsi Cola. I actually did look in the supermarket where I was, but they only had Coke. So I'll get back onto this. I must admit, years ago I did try a drink test of the like green Pepsi, and it was horrible. It was really horrible. But that said, this is cola, so I guess at least I can probably drink it. I guess maybe next week I'll have it on the show. But this is a cool thing that Japan frequently has all these limited edition drink flavors, and that is coming. Oh yeah, this was kind of interesting. Oh, so down the bottom. Latest statistics of foreigners in Japan, 2.56 million foreigners in Japan. Within that, there are 66,000 illegal residents, or estimated illegal residents, residents who did not leave the country, who stayed in over their permitted time periods. But so that number is increasing, so they're using the alarm around that. But particularly interesting is the breakdown. It used to be, when I joined, Koreans were the number one group, and this was mainly because the North Koreans would almost always keep, even fourth, fifth generation, were holding on to their Korean citizenship. Of course, for a time it was difficult, for they weren't allowed to become Japanese, but now they are being encouraged to become Japanese. So there were like 300,000 or 400,000 North Koreans and the same number of South Koreans, whereas now the total number of, in fact now they've got South Koreans there, 450,663. Oh, sorry, 456,630. Koreans are the largest. Chinese are the largest group in Japan at 738,900. However, Vietnamese have increased 31%, and they are now all the way up to 262,405 people in Japan. Vietnamese are really now standing out. English speakers, whenever you look at this, there's like 30,000 of us in total, like Canadians, Americans, Australians, New Zealanders. New Zealanders, by the way, the smallest is like 1,000 of us in Japan, and we have like the lowest crime rate, and I'm pretty sure whatever crime we have, it's associated with drunkenness and stupidity, probably. But yes, yay team foreigners. We are growing a lot. When I first got here, there was like 1 million. Now it's like 2.56 million. So that's kind of, although the news story is emphasizing the increase in illegal overstayers, which is going to probably get worse with the Olympics coming. This is kind of interesting. There was it was in English, but it's actually it was being shared on Hatena bookmark, the Hatena question mark bookmark site, which is a kind of a popular link sharing site in Japan, which I also follow. It was a blog written by an engineer, an IT engineer, another one. I used to be an IT engineer, so I can relate to it. About kind of the challenges or problems with working in Japan. And it's kind of analytical, and it kind of shows the good and the bad. It's a really, really good analysis, actually. It's quite accurate for the IT industry, which, by the way, is also kind of a tough industry to work in. That page is not loading. I want to show it. Come on. If that doesn't load, I'm going to move on. But basically, it's just someone talking about the cultural issues, the things that hold Japanese back in terms of, at least in the IT culture, the conservatism, the hierarchy, the risk aversion, and so on. All true, and actually it's something which I read, and I thought it was a really, really good analysis, and the fact it's being shared around a lot by people like Preshow and on Hatena Bookmarks. It's resonating with Japanese, so it's a really, really well-written English assessment of working, at least in one industry in Japan. It's not universal, but these are things which are associated with Japanese culture, and it's a really, really good read. But Oh, there it is. In fact, Gaijin Engineer in Tokyo, written by Alejandro Weinzinger. Hopefully this will load a little bit better. It's on Medium. And being a Gaijin engineer in Tokyo, it's a long post, as you can see, but it's really highly recommended, worth a read. I mean, if you're watching the show now on a computer, seriously, and you're interested in Japan or working in Japan, it is one industry. It's very industry specific, but it does have a lot of overall resonating themes. So look up Alejandro Weinzinger, engineer, being a Gaijin engineer in Tokyo. Look this up and read it because it's really, really good. And we're just about out of time. So in fact, we are over time, and that's it. That's last week's show. So perfect timing. I'm going to be going away. I'm going to be mailing out these shirts to the wonderful people who have been supporting my channel until now. I'm sorry, I really wanted to announce that it's like open the gates and everybody go and look at it now. Don't look at it now. I'm going to put on something probably during this week. We've just got 2 things to fix. When the site is open, as Tim the Asian Inc. can relate to, we are going to, the site has a little like chat thing called Intercom, which is like a little window where you can actually say, hey, this doesn't work, or I like this, or I'd really like this, or here's a good idea for the site. You can actually use in real time while you're using the site. Plus, I'll get an email when people are doing that, and I can log in easily, like on an app on my phone or on the computer, and I can start chatting with you while you're using the site, so you can tell me all the stuff that you're thinking. Using this just for 20 users got me like so much awesome feedback. It's a really great tool. It also makes me afraid of launching without the bugs I want to fix being fixed, and there are 2 bugs I need to fix, and we're really, really close. So I'm sorry we didn't make it in time for this show, but I think during this week I am going to make an announcement, so look out on Facebook and Twitter. I'm going to mention, of course, on the MyChan TV Twitter and Facebook pages, but I'm also going to mention it on my regular Hiko Simon accounts. And I'll be at the Hanami with shirts and all that sort of good stuff, and I really would love you guys to get in. Not yet to push. It won't be launched. It'll still be beta, but it'll be for you guys to get in and tell me what you think, and to get ready basically for the main launch. So it'll be awesome. Mr. Cordychip does not want to get a heart attack from working too hard, and indeed I also hope that you do not get a heart attack from working too hard. But be careful, because if you keep confusing those shirt sizes and so on, it might be difficult. Oh, you know what? Will there be a Tokyo Tonight 2 next Sunday, or is the Hanami party going to take its toll? The Hanami party will take a certain toll, but that's on Saturday. However, on Sunday I'm flying to Korea, and you know what? I'm going to be flying. I've got like an 8 p.m. flight, so I won't be able to do this at the normal time. And then I'm going to be in Korea, so I won't be able to do this. Like, my setup is here, obviously. It's not on a laptop, so I won't be able to do it. I might be able to do something in Korea, but it's going to be tough when I'm over there. So you know what? We'll see. If I'm not, at the moment I might not be able to stay until late on the Saturday, so at the Hanami, so I might do something on Saturday. Certainly, if I'm going to be able to launch the open beta for my channel, I'm going to do a live stream for that. So look out for that. I am going to be doing a live stream associated with that. For Tokyo Tonight 2, we might have to skip a week next week. We'll see how that goes. Good question, actually, and thank you for mentioning that. Am I matching up with Kim Il? Time to get ill? No, not this time. Not this time. I'll just be over there for regular work stuff, but that happens. Thank you all for coming in. Please, general public, go and try the machine yakisoba. It's been beautiful having all of you people in here. I'm going to be logging out now. If we have spare time, I'll make a track, but looks like we filled it all up. Thank you for enjoying the pre-show. I'm going to continue doing that, and check out for more announcements coming really, really soon about MyChan TV, because I want all of you to start using it very soon, but not quite yet. So just give me a couple more days. Have a good week, everybody, and peace. Boom. Gotta stop the show. Boom.